Good evening, my friends, family, strangers, fellow human beings. I am going to read you something that was passed along to me, and I found it very helpful and useful for some of the things that have gone on in my life and that are going on today. Today I'm going to be reading for you something called a soul contract revocation. There's some things in here that might not resonate with you based off your religion or some of your personal beliefs, but it definitely resonates with me, and so I would like to share that with you and anyway clear things for myself so that I can go on and sort of process some of the things that are happening, or at least do what I can to protect myself and promise myself that. The first one I'm going to read is a soul contract revocation for the divine masculine. This man does write a lot of things also for other things. There's one for the divine feminine, which I will be reading tomorrow or the next day or as soon as I can. So I will begin right now. I also believe that we all sort of have like a masculine and feminine side. So this one is going to be the clearing for the masculine. Okay, now I begin. I call to all my spiritual contracts that exist within my past, present, and future beings, selves, and existence in this dimension and time stream, and all time streams above and below the Earth-centric scene wave of coexistence. At this exact moment, in the ever-present co-creative moment, I summon all DNA lineage ancestors to create a unified proper spiritual court of equity, so I may find remedy and resolve with all contracts that have inserted fine print during the pre-birth, birth, and puberty process. I call forth the proper spiritual court of equity to hear my decree of contract removal. I call forth all ancestors of all soul relations to hold space in the spiritual court of equity. I call to Earth Mother and all her light denizens within all inner and outer space to come forward and occupy this spiritual court of equity. O great mystery, who is the source of all power, I call to you. Come with your sacred synchronicity so all beings may hold space with unity consciousness. I call to Great Spirit, who lives within great mystery. You, the powers of Mother Earth, manifested. I call to your wisdom in this I am moment. Bless me as I walk this sacred soil. Bless me as I breathe your sacred air. Bless me as I warm myself with sacred fire. Bless me with your sacred waters of life. Bless me as I learn to walk with personal power. Today I travel the great unknown. Grant me the wisdom to be humble. Grant me the wisdom to love, even when love is not returned. Grant me the knowledge to balance my way of being, so I may heal my family, my tribe, my nation, and our Mother Earth. I am ready to invoke my natural rights as a sovereign male being born to Earth Mother through a womb of a sacred feminine who was also born this way. I invoke my natural rights as a being of Earth Mother. I was born under the natural laws. With this wisdom of my natural birth, I now reclaim my place in the natural world. I revoke all energetic contracts with all people I've had sex with that was influenced by propaganda-based mass media or pornography. I return myself to the 0 point of the fetus in my mother's womb. I revoke all contracts with all perverted sacred masculine mystery schools who have operated with false information or who have created a patriarchal dominated society. I cancel, cure, or delete all contract that perverts the sacred masculine during the birth canal phase of life. I revoke all spiritual contracts that create a sense of competition between the male species when dealing with any sacred feminine expression. I revoke all cultural taboos that create emotional distancing from women. I revoke all perverted spiritual contracts that place me in the incorrect sex that I chose before my birth. I revoke all contracts that create perversion of the male expression of sensual behavior. I revoke all contracts that house, hold, or store my sacred masculine energy to promote male-dominant sports, activities, or entertainment that demoralize or degrade the sacred feminine. I revoke all systems of patriarchal domination of the family unit. I return all definitions of family to the Earth Mother, so remedy and resolve can be endeavored between all families now healing the patriarch concepts. I revoke all cultural contracts I incarnated or reincarnated with that create a male-dominated society structure. I return the sacred feminine to its right and proper place as equal partners in this co-creation experience of life. I revoke all spiritual contract with all religions I have existed in that do not give full rights, duties, and responsibility in total equity to the sacred feminine and masculine. I revoke all spiritual contracts that retain me in any way, shape, or form, or force me via soul contract to serve in war. I delete all patriot programming that creates a lust for war. I revoke all spiritual contracts that define the male as war-oriented. I revoke all spiritual contract with all governments that I have served enduring all times of war. I revoke all spiritual contracts that create a war-based, male-dominated military-industrial complex. I revoke all contracts that create a male-servicing sex industry that dominates women in any way, shape, or form. I revoke all spiritual contracts that create a sense of uncleanliness within my sacred masculine expression. I revoke all contracts that keep me trapped in shame, blame, or guilt created by perverted masculine or perverted feminine personalities. I revoke all contracts with the incubus and succubus grids I may have dealt with in all of my past, present. I hereby banish the entire incubus and succubus grid from my reality for all eternity. I hereby revoke my entire citizenship to all representations of kingship, dictatorship, religious monarchies, religious councils, or representative government concepts. I hereby permanently remove myself from all Dreamtime societies interwoven with the system of domination and control that caused the erasure of our oral teachers, historians, throughout the entire indigenous world. I hereby revoke every decision I have ever made while in service to the system of domination and control. All decisions made for me by a male soul contract holding representative government are now placed in a proper spiritual court of equity with all ancestors present, so we may find remedy and resolve, not justice or judgment. I now state with full sovereign conviction that I, Amy Chanel, am now fully present in the mighty I Am Self. I declare from this point forth, I now operate with a permanent spiritual court of equity when relating to healing the divine masculine. I declare from this point forth, I now operate with a permanent spiritual court of equity when relating to healing the divine masculine or feminine, so perversion never re-enters my field of expression. I hereby declare that Earth Mother is now in dominion with me for all forms of interpersonal relations, for all sentient kind existing and coexisting on Earth Mother's realms. I call forth all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into the Earth record for all sentient kind to understand our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times. And there you have it. Thank you for being a part of my declaration. And if it struck you in any way, I encourage you to share that with me in a positive manner. And that's all I will accept or take in. And I encourage you to look into something like this for yourself if you're interested, or if you know anyone else that could possibly be interested. And yeah, I think the writer, Andrew Bartzies, and I look forward to being with you all in this way, and I love you all too. So thank you for being a part of this, and have a great night. Thank you.